We're moving on to our second last chapter. 2 small chapters to go, should get them done by next week. So the first one is ratio and proportion. So a lot of this is the same sort of knowledge that you would have gotten first year from this, but obviously more difficult questions. So we use ratios to compare two quantities, and it's written like this: 5.3 or 2.45 or whatever. Okay, it's comparing the two quantities, where we'll talk about proportion in a while. Like if you were to say what's the proportion of blues, and it's 5 out of the total amount, and I'll talk about that tomorrow. But if I was to say what's the ratio between blues and yellow, it's 5 to 3. You're comparing the two amounts, not to the total. Okay, it's written like that. Again, you should be aware of that anyway. And look, it shows the difference between ratio and proportion there. So ratio is comparing the two actual proportions, blue to yellow, where proportion compares the blue to the total and the yellow to the total. Okay, that's the difference between ratio and proportion. So I'm just going to go through three quick examples. This should be no issue to anybody, because these are basic enough, but some of the questions that you will get will be a bit more difficult. So it says 140 divided in the ratio 2:5. Find each part. So it's not split evenly, it's split in this ratio. So you find the total parts. If there's 2 parts and 5 parts, that's a total of 7. So you divide 140 into 7 parts. So 140 equals 7 parts. So 1 part, I'll do it the other way around. So 1 part is 140 divided by 7, which is 20. So if you're asked for 1 part, it's 20. So this person has 2. So 2 by 20 is equal to 40. And you can obviously, the other person's 100, which you can just say 5 by 20 is 100. Simple. Okay. Next example, none of these are in the book. They start off with this one. I'm just making sure that everyone's okay with the basics of it. Money divided in the ratio of 3:4. If the smaller share is €51, so the smaller share is 51, what is the larger share? So €51 is not 7 parts this time. €51 represents the 3 parts. So 3 parts, and you don't have to lay it out exactly like this, you can choose your own way. 3 parts is €51. So you find out 1 part is equal to 51 divided by 3, which works out as €17. And so that means 4 parts, because we're not looking for the total, we're looking for just the larger share, which is the 4 parts, which will be 4 by 17, which is 68. Again, you could have done it, there's different ways. You could have said, oh, 1 part 17, so I'll just add that onto the 51, because 3 parts and 1 part. Again, there's no fixed way of doing this. If you see, again, say if the smaller share was 2 and this was 4, you could just double this. So it's but most of the time by finding 1 part, and we'll come across this in proportion, is the easiest way. Okay, I spelled money wrong there. Money divided in ratio 1:3 to 5. Smallest share is 250. Find the sum of the money, so find the total money. So if 1 part is equal to 250. Oh, this is nice because we don't have to find out what 1 part, we're already given that. Smallest share is 1 part. Find the total. Now, you could find 3 parts and 5 parts and add them all together, but you can actually see there's 1, 4, 9 parts. So 9 parts is equal to 250 times by 9, or 9 times by 250, which is equal to 2250. And that's the basics of ratio. Okay, so if you just take down those examples, and I'm going to give you some questions on that to try.